Creek is perhaps the next evolutionary step for the troll species. He's spiritually advanced, he's moved beyond the material world, even if that material is felt, and into a more spiritual domain. Creek's relationship with the other trolls is one of haughty superciliousness and condescension. He considers himself to be better than the other trolls, more advanced intellectually and spiritually, and just vibrating on a higher plane of consciousness. At the commencement of the movie Trolls, they live in a kind of, it seems, blissful captivity where they are regularly harvested by the Bergen species, having been led to freedom by a kind of Moses figure in the shape of King Pepe through a series of subterranean tunnels. They now live in a new utopia, a blissful forest dwelling. But there is one harbinger character played by Justin Timberlake, the character of Branch, who says that danger is just around the corner. But the other trolls, in their sort of blissful, one would say, ungrounded optimism, don't pay heed to his warnings and just want to party and enjoy life. They don't see the writing on the wall, to use a biblical analogy, that there is the threat of danger. When danger eventually comes, of course, only Branch, the cynic, is prepared for danger in the form of the returning Bergens. They are kidnapped, beginning the Iliad part of the film, a quest where Poppy, as the hero, in order to fulfill her father's dreams and live on her legacy, her duty as a monarch, a figurehead, a sovereign, the emblem of the divinity of the trolls in their troll world, has to rescue her friends. Anna Kendrick brings to the role of Poppy mirth, lightness, a good singing voice, sort of a puckish, spry wry playfulness. She is a twinkle-eyed, affable girl next door, sort of sparkle-toed, whimsical girl with an element of edginess, which I imagine means that she's accessible to young children, but like aspirational for adolescent female viewers. Branch is a sort of a survivalist kind of character that lives in a bunker. He does have that skill set, but he doesn't have the optimism and love. But the two of them, as a composite entity, do have exactly the required characteristics to fulfill this mission, or do they? You know, that's the great question of the Trolls film. Will they rescue their friends? And will they again achieve utopia? Can there be a second Eden for the Trolls? You'll have to go and see the film. They are where the trolls are joyful, the Bergens are joyless. They are cynical beings and think that they can only attain joy, happiness, or any pleasure through consuming trolls. I like them quite a lot. I like John Cleese as the king. I like the Prince Kid. I like the cook a lot. Although one of my favourite bits of the film is the bit where it's got a Gorillaz song in it and they're singing really joylessly about happiness. I really found that remarkable. In the movie The Trolls, the hair is a bit like an elephant's trunk. It's a dexterous entity that they can use to reach out and grab things. They can swing from trees with it. It's in a way a superpower. It's been they utilise it frequently to get out of jams, to grab one another. Well, I think he created a very accessible and entertaining soundtrack. It seemed to me that it was a very good marriage between the visual aesthetic and the music. That everything seems very sort of joyful and inviting and inclusive. And I met him for the first time yesterday. He seems like a very warm human. Mike, he seemed to me to be a very funny guy. He was up for a laugh, and I remember he gave me some good direction, you know, which, like, I know you're supposed to get that of directors, but it's surprising how infrequently it occurs. He said something like, there was a bit where I was doing something and I guess I had one eye on the comedy of it, and he said, oh no, do it properly, sincerely. It was like maybe with the namaste bit where I was getting off of a bug at the beginning of the film. and it really made me laugh how he saw the way that he saw it. So I think they're good directors, and I think that across the film, it's like that there's a very beautiful aesthetic, excellent music, really well cast, and like good performances. There are universal themes because it's about perspective. It's about the positivity of the trolls, the negativity of the Bergens, and the necessity for compromise and collaboration when we're seeking to achieve an objective. Now that would be a relevant life lesson if you're a little 5-year-old kid. I'm a little bit like the trolls in that in my own life I get happiness from hugging, mindless optimism, singing and dancing, and a kind of mission to return to the Holy Land or Eden of my youth, a blissful transcendence.